long time ago, 8 years ago, somebody put in cables. There are 6 cables altogether. There are, in essence, 2 big sycamores that are double trunk. They share the two. These 2 share a root system. Those 2 share a root system. The decay is extensive. The big one over here that leans way over is cabled with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 of them are over to this half of the tree, and 1 of them goes over to this tree. That has 2 cables up above. 1 goes over to this one, and this one goes over to this side. So what I'm afraid of is we got a situation here that this trunk has gotten so rotten that I believe that those 4 cables are up there are doing an awful lot to stabilize that tree. And I brought a probe, and I'm going to do some deeper inspections. I'm going to bang around in there and find out just what I'm dealing with, because frankly I'm not sure I want to put a climber up in this tree. I should probably go up there and see what kind of a tune I can play on those cables, but they look really, really tight. All right. I don't know if you can see down in here or not. I've actually turned the light on my camera, but it's pretty blurry. And what I'm doing is I've got a probe right here, and it is pretty bad. Okay, a little bit more excavating around here. A little concerned about the union right here, but what I'm finding, other than ants coming out and biting me everywhere, is that this is pretty hollow, and it goes up quite a ways. Ants, ouch, ooh, God. Yeah, here that I'm not talking very much. I'm just sort of scratching my head trying to figure out if I really want to take this on. My worry is if we cut those cables. Okay, here's what I do. I take all the weight off the top up there and all the weight off the top over here, because I would recommend taking out both sides. And only cut the top cable, work my way down, cut the next cable, work my way down. But at some point in time, there is the strong possibility that this big bad boy is being supported entirely by those cables. And the weight in this piece of wood is unbelievable. The decay goes up about 8 to 10 feet, so the bottom is not quite so heavy, but from starting up there, it's still 3 feet in diameter. So let's read this crack. The crack goes down to the ground, actually below grade. There's a hole that goes all the way over the other side that you can see daylight through. This crack, my probe goes 3/4 of the way through the trunk, and it's pretty much hollow all the way around. It has about 6 to 10 inches of holding wood, and much of that is punky. I ran the probe straight in, and it bottomed out with about 6 or 8 inches of holding wood on this side. So this weakness is severe. Now, because the tree grows in such an angle and it's cabled to this other tree, it has a tendency to rock in the wind. So we've got a split crack that works its way all the way up over to here, and it continues, and it's fairly deep in here. It goes all the way up to this point here, and you can see where it has cracked and closed, and cracked and closed. There's some callus tissue up and through here. So this, at one point, this opened up, and then it closed back together. So the first 10 feet of the structural support of this monster is compromised, and it's held up there with 4 cables. I'm watching it move in the wind, and this cable over here actually slacks and gets real tight. Those over there, I haven't seen any change whatsoever. They seem to be as tight as can be. You know, takes a lot for me to back out of a job. Maybe it's my pride, maybe it's my ego. But, you know, sometimes it's the smart thing to do. Once in a while I'll get into a job where I'll see, say, a big dead pine tree that's been dead for many years, and you know that damn thing's so rotten that it's stupid to put anybody up into it. Well, this tree is so rotten, and the possibility of something happening is so great that I think I'm going to respectfully decline this one. And that's hard for me to say, because I like to take them all on. I feel for this guy, but he let this tree go for way, way too long before he decided to deal with it, or maybe he just never saw it, maybe he never noticed it. A lot of people really don't look at their trees. But this is a situation that could easily get somebody killed, or at the very least cause a lot of damage. Even with a crane, it's going to be a touch and go job. And I hate to say it, but I think I'm going to let this one go. Can't do them all. Maybe I shouldn't do them all. Maybe I'm just getting old.